Most people are raised to believe the middle class is success. Get the degree, land the job, buy the house, and you've won the game. Your bills get paid. You've got a car that works. Maybe you take a week off once a year if the budget allows it. Nothing glamorous, but if that sounds familiar, don't dismiss it. Compared to poverty, the middle class is a huge advantage. But here's what they don't tell you. The middle class, especially in developed nations, isn't just a category you land in. It's a cage someone built for you. Imagine living in a padded room. The padding is comfort. Enough money to cover necessities, a little extra for some luxuries, and just enough security to convince you everything's fine. But that padding hides walls. Invisible barriers designed not to help you grow, but to keep you functioning. Productive enough to keep the machine running, but never free enough to walk away from it. Ask the average middle-class person how long they'd last if they stopped working today. 1 month? 2? Most can't escape the treadmill because they lack real financial freedom. They're living paycheck to paycheck regardless of the paycheck size. The system thrives because it rewards the exact behaviors that trap you. You get a raise and suddenly, congratulations, here's a higher credit limit. Go finance a bigger house and a newer car. It looks like progress. It feels like you're climbing. But all you're doing is making your life more expensive. Over time, your choices, your routines, even your ambitions start shrinking to fit what seems realistic for your income bracket. Poverty screams at you every day. You can't ignore it. But the middle class? It whispers. It's not urgent, not painful, not uncomfortable enough to spark action. It just sits there quietly in the background, slowly convincing you that this is enough. That's the real trap. You stop asking what's possible because the system you're in keeps reassuring you that you've already arrived. Breaking free starts with recognizing the cage for what it is. A structure designed to keep you occupied until your productive years run out. But here's the upside. There's a way out. A proven sequence of moves that anyone willing to think differently and act boldly can execute. The objective isn't to make you slightly wealthier. It's to construct a life where you have complete financial autonomy, where you travel whenever you want and answer to no one. So let's map it out. Here's the blueprint for escaping the middle class and entering the world of the wealthy. Step 1. Acknowledge you're in a cage. Until you accept that reality, you'll keep playing the same game with the same rulebook and the same ceiling. This isn't about resenting where you are or hating the middle class. It's about brutal honesty. Saying to yourself, I'm here now, but I'm capable of far more, and I refuse to waste that potential. That single decision is more powerful than you realize because it's the moment you stop choosing safety and start choosing direction. And here's the thing. Making that commitment means accepting another one. You're committing to sacrifice. Better to face that now than be blindsided later. Because to transform your life, you have to actually transform your life. That means risk, discomfort, probably working harder than you ever have. Once you accept that reality, the real work begins. If step 1 is deciding to leave, step 2 is building the tools to actually escape. The most valuable tools you can acquire are high-income skills. Sales, marketing, copywriting, coding, design, leadership, negotiation. Rare, in-demand, scalable abilities that let you create opportunities, solve meaningful problems, and get compensated accordingly. The beauty of high-income skills. You don't need permission to start learning them. When you possess valuable skills, you don't sit around waiting for a boss to approve a raise. You create or find opportunities whenever you choose, wherever you are on the planet. Want to earn more? Learn skills that solve bigger problems. The middle class stays stuck because income is tied directly to time. And time maxes out at 24 hours daily. The wealthy break that connection by selling value instead of hours. And you do that by acquiring increasingly valuable skills. Yes, it demands significant work and time if you want real mastery. But remember, This isn't about padding your paycheck with a few extra dollars. It's about gaining the power to generate income on your terms. Step 3. Build your first profit machine. By this point, you've developed one or several valuable skill sets. Now it's time to deploy them. Whether you realize it or not, this is when you become an entrepreneur. If that sounds intimidating, relax. Entrepreneurship isn't as complex as people pretend. At its foundation, it's simply finding people with problems your skills can solve and getting paid to solve them. That's it. This is where you construct what we call your first profit machine. At this stage, you're not building the next tech unicorn. You're creating something that generates revenue and teaches you business fundamentals. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you learn how to acquire customers, deliver value, and collect payment. That education is worth more than any credential or course. The easiest starting point? Something you're already competent at. If you write well, offer copywriting. If you understand numbers, provide bookkeeping for local companies. If you can design, code, sell, teach, repair, construct, or even train animals, someone somewhere will pay you for it. Guaranteed. The real value of this step isn't the initial income. Your business might barely cover rent at first. But the identity transformation that comes with that income changes everything. You stop thinking like an employee waiting for approval and start thinking like a builder creating possibilities. Step 4. Reinvest and scale. You've reached a point where you're generating income and you know you can generate more. But here's where middle-class people and even many new business owners catastrophically fail. They taste extra income and immediately start spending it. Bigger house, nicer car, fancier vacations. We've covered this pattern already. It's why middle-class people can't escape the treadmill. Instead, you need to do what wealthy people do. Pour your profits back into growth. That means upgrading your tools so you work faster and deliver more value. Refining your systems so operations run smoother. And most critically, investing in people. Too many ambitious individuals insist on doing everything themselves and end up in the freelance trap. Sure, you're your own boss, but you're also your only employee. That's not a business. That's self-employment with extra steps. If your goal is genuine wealth, millionaire level, you must free up your time to focus on strategy, growth, and creating additional income streams. That means hiring exceptional people, training them properly, trusting them completely, and compensating them well. Once you commit to reinvestment, your business transforms from a personal side project into a genuine wealth-building machine. But here's the catch. Reinvestment isn't a one-time event. It's a cycle you repeat as many times as necessary until your machine generates whatever number feels rich to you. For some, that's a few $100,000 annually. For others, it's millions. The formula remains constant. Keep channeling resources back into the business. Keep expanding it, accelerating it, strengthening it until it produces the income you want. But generating income isn't the same as constructing wealth. No matter how solid your business, risk always exists. You could have a disastrous year. A major client could vanish. Entire industries get disrupted overnight. If your lifestyle depends entirely on your business performing flawlessly, you're walking a tightrope without a net. If something knocks you off before you're ready, you could slide right back into the middle class after all this effort. That's the nightmare scenario. Step 5. Build your wealth system. This is what enables you to live the lifestyle you want without constantly worrying about the next sale, the next client, the next month's numbers. The system works like this. First, you have your business or businesses. That's the money generator. But it's not what funds your lifestyle. Instead of paying for your lifestyle directly from business profits, you channel that money into a growing portfolio of investments. This is your wealth. Stocks, real estate, assets that produce consistent returns. And it's those returns that cover your daily expenses. This system creates a powerful feedback loop. The more your business earns, the more assets you accumulate. The more assets you accumulate, the more passive income flows in. Consider the implications. If something happens to your business, you can maintain the exact same lifestyle because your wealth remains intact. It might stop growing temporarily, but your day-to-day existence doesn't change. When you have both components, a thriving business and a wealth pool generating returns, you're finally off the hamster wheel. That's the foundation of genuine wealth. You stop obsessing over this month's earnings and start thinking about how many decades you can live exactly as you choose. That means you've officially arrived at the rich life we've been discussing. From here, the only direction is upward. So what does being rich actually mean? You're likely a multi-millionaire, which means for most decisions, money is no longer the limiting factor. Your expenses are covered by income that arrives whether you're working or not. You travel when the mood strikes. Upgrade your home if you feel like it. Treat yourself and the people you care about to the best experiences. Not just on special occasions. Whenever you want. You're not chained to an office or a boss. You select which projects to pursue, who to spend time with, what goals to chase. It means security. Assets working for you. A lifestyle supported by wealth you've already constructed. If you followed these steps, you've done more than accumulate money. You've reclaimed your time, your choices, your freedom. You're living on your own terms. That's what genuine wealth is all about. Because ultimately, this was never just about the money. It was about unlocking your potential, pushing past limits you thought were fixed. The money is fantastic, absolutely. But the real reward is the person you become in the process of earning it. That transformation is priceless. That's what separates the middle class from the truly wealthy. Not just the bank account, the mindset, the courage, the refusal to settle for comfortable when extraordinary is possible. So if this resonated with you, if you're ready to stop settling and start building, take action. Not tomorrow, today. Because every day you stay comfortable in the middle class cage is another day your potential goes unrealized. And that's the real tragedy. Not that you didn't have enough, but that you had everything you needed to break free and chose comfort instead. Don't let that be your story. The roadmap is clear. The steps are proven. The only question left is whether you have the courage to take the first step. The choice is yours. Choose wisely.